Today we have CA Vinod Gupta, who is widely recognized as the chieftain of taxation among the faculties of CA Final. He has taught direct tax to over 3 lakh CA Final students and has nearly 3 decades of experience as an instructor and tax practitioner. Named among the best faculties of direct tax in the country, he laid the foundation of Vgld Learning Destination, which is now a pioneer institute for CA Final Direct Tax and International Taxation. We also have ACA SAMIR Malik, who is an associate partner at THORNTON in India and has over 14 years of experience in working with clients across sectors. For the years, he has helped the firm deepen its financial reporting expertise. We are looking forward to know what are your thoughts on education industries, your visions, etc. So for the first question, and that is something that every eminent person from the education industry is being asked lately, and that is, where do you think the education industry is heading, considering the current situation of the COVID-19 pandemic?
This pandemic COVID, we do not know for how many months, years it will last.
Right.
And even after the pandemic is over, the people are frightened of going to the crowded places. So I think the switch everywhere in the world is towards the online education. You'll be surprised, Singapore, it was totally face-to-face education. There was no online education. But even Singapore today has switched on to online education. So I think the future of the education is online education, and the best faculties will obviously survive. So those who have the content, the good delivery, and who can really teach the students and update their knowledge, they will survive. So I think that's our vision towards education now.
Absolutely. Okay. And that brings me to the second question. Talking of the pandemic, it has caused a major disruption everywhere. And the education industry is no exception as well, right? So how are you dealing with the disruption that the COVID-19 has caused?
Thanks for having me here. As Mr. Gupta said, it's actually a disruption that has happened almost pervasively to all industries, right? It's a disruption happened in software and in manufacturing, and similarly to education industry. So everybody's move is actually towards online, towards virtual, towards work from home, towards education from home, and that's how it's moving. I think the education industry is very, very well placed to take up this challenge because there was already a move on online education earlier, and just to ramp that up will actually bring us in line with what the earlier volumes were, or what the earlier reach was. Probably we've reached out to more people now because of the widespread use of technology and the internet development that's happened in India in the last, say, 5 years or so. So yes, I think it's bright times ahead for this industry.
Right. And the paradigm shift from the very offline teaching to the online teaching, learning, everything is just making things all the more obvious in today's day. Okay, so the third question is on ACCA and CPA, and that is ACCA and CPA are very sought after paths, but I would like you to enlighten our audience on its future, and will it help in getting better professional prospects for the candidate?
Yes, it's both these courses, CPA and ACCA, are internationally recognized professional degrees. Just like CA is a recognized professional degree in India, ACCA is recognized professional degrees in more than 70 countries. Similarly, CPA is a professional degree that's recognized in US and Canada. So I think the prospects are, with globalization taking over, the prospects of these professions are only increasing. With more American companies setting up their offices, their back offices, MNCs, even firms like ours who serve a lot of international clients actually use services of somebody who's a professional, let's say in US tax, or somebody who's a professional can take up, say, US accounting issues. So yes, so these professions are becoming more global, more sought after. I think similar to how CA is being slowly reaching outside India, similar to that, CPA and ACCA are coming into India, and considering the fact that we have a lot of young population, I think that's a great career opportunity to distinguish yourself.
VG Learning Destination has set a benchmark when it comes to preparing for CA final, direct tax and international taxation. But what is your ultimate vision, and also how are you heading towards that vision?
See, I have always emphasized on the practical training of the students. So I have taught around more than 3 lakh students.
Right.
And if you see the partners, the directors of the big 5, including Grant Thornton, I'm happy and proud that they are my students. So you feel really proud when you see your student being a CFO for multinational, partner of big 5 and things like that. So I have always emphasized on the practical training, even in income tax. So frankly, for ACCA and CPA, VG learning was not having the requisite expertise in terms of practical experience. So that is why we joined hands with Grant Thornton. So Grant Thornton is a knowledge partner. So for ACCA and CPA, all faculties are coming from Grant Thornton. So the USP of the Grant Thornton is that they are not teaching academically only. They are sharing their practical experience with the students, and that is what really is asked in the examinations like ACCA and CPA. Plus the industry and the big 5, once you qualify as ACCA and CPA, they look after your practical insight in the subjects. So this is how we have partnered with Grant Thornton, a long-term vision of giving the practical training in ACCA and CPA, and of course, new courses to be launched.
Okay. So you mentioned Grant Thornton as your partner, but I would like Mr. Samir to give a briefing on Grant Thornton India LLP.
Right. So Grant Thornton India is a member firm of Grant Thornton International, and we have more than 4,500 people in India. We have 15 offices in 13 cities. We are one of the largest consulting firms in India, and we are a full service firm. So basically, we do everything from taxation to audit to accounting to valuations. Anything that a professional consultancy firm will do. So we do everything, and that makes us unique to have all that practical experience to actually have those trainers deliver practical insights to students. So whenever trainers help conduct those trainings, there are a lot of practical aspects, there are practical interpretations, practical issues that we are able to explain, and I think that helps students not just in exams but going forward as well in their career.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, so the fees, as we can see, which is something that we cannot leave behind, is of 1 lakh. So how much do you think will be the return of interest in that?
You want me to answer the question?
Yes, absolutely.
This fees includes the Becker's material. And if you purchase the Becker's material from Becker's, it costs you around 1 lakh. So the fees includes the Becker's material, the 4 subjects training. So there's a lot of cost involved in terms of faculty, in terms of delivery, and all those things. And once you are a CPA, I think your half-month salary or 1/4 month salary will be covering the fees.
Right. That is a very wise answer. Okay, so coming to the next question, that what numbers are you aiming or do you think you will be achieving in the very first year?
I cannot say 130 crores. So given that VG Learning has taught 300,000 students, I think we should aim at least 1% or 0.5% of what we have taught.
Right. And that itself is a huge number.
Should be 1%, I think, is 3,000. 0.5% is 1,500.
Absolutely.
Rest everything on the God.
Absolutely. Coming to the last question, and that is any piece of wisdom or advice that you would like to share with the CA aspirants?
I think me and Samir both will independently share.
Absolutely.
So according to me, anyone who is doing any subject, any course, whether it's CPA, ACCA, any course, you must have practical insight about the subject.
Right.
And then only you can really get a good job. And even after getting the good job, you can, do justice in the job and climb to the next level. I think Samir will answer balance part of the question.
Yeah. I completely agree, sir. In fact, I would say, one part of becoming a CA is clearing that exam, and it's known to be a difficult exam to crack. But having said that, if you are practical, if you understand the concepts, if you have in-depth knowledge, the exam will automatically come your way. The results will be in your favor. So I think if you focus on that, it is your exam as well as the life beyond the exam that is sorted. But if you only focus on exams, then you're basically going to do a lot of hard work trying to prove yourself in the world after the exam. So I completely agree that practical understanding, practical learning, focus on your depth, your concepts is the way to go.
That was it for the interview. Thank you so much for dedicating your time. And it was an honor to have the both of you here. We cannot wait to have both of you back. And we cannot wait to see the huge drastic changes full of positivity and good things that are coming in the life of the CA aspirant. And yeah, thank you so much for giving us your time, valuable time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.